So here's Dark Elf turn 4. Some shenanigans just happened. Basically, Cold One Knights charged into the Skinks. They managed to do one whopping wound. Or, I'm sorry, how many were there?
3.
There were 3. That's right. One of them failed to stand and shoot because I rolled a 1 there. He got 1 wound for stand and shoot. One of them died, and he managed to do 1 wound against my Cold Ones with regular attacks, and I rolled another 1. So lost 2 knights. Still won combat because I killed 4 of them. They were the BSB was close enough that they were re-rolling a 6 cold-blooded, so they held. So my champion is locked in combat with 6 measly Skinks that are probably going to kill him with my luck. The Corsairs, after having kicked them out last turn, tried to pick off a few more of the Temple Guard. Only managed to kill 1 little dude, and they still got the Flaming Sword of Ruin. In Magic, my level 4 miscast doing the Pit of Shades, but I was able to take off 6 Source Warriors who had regrown themselves last turn. So, but then with that miscast, we got the not the Dimensional Cascade, but we got the small template one, and took off 6 of my spears and 1 wound off of my my level 4. So we neutered that unit a little bit, but we got a couple to take that charge. But I wish I hadn't miscast. The Hydra charged the other unit of Skinks. They actually charged this unit of Saurus just to make them flee again. Fled them through my shades, and they took a couple dangerous terrain checks and lost a guy there. Hydra redirected into the unit of Skink skirmishers there and absolutely annihilated them. Tried to overrun to get the flank charge on the Temple Guard. This was huge. I needed anything but double 1s. To get this flank, and absolutely rolled double 1s, so he moved up an inch for his overrun rule. Really needed him to get in there. They still have the Flaming Sword of Ruin, so they would have had flaming attacks versus Hydra, never good. But the other crazy shenanigans is those Skinks before they died managed to do 2 wounds to the Hydra. Failed my Scaly Skin, failed my regen saves. So. Bad times, but the 2 remaining shades were able to pick off that last wound of the salamander. I decided not to charge him because I've just been doing horrible in close combat. I just shot him and killed that last final wound. So that's the end of my turn 4. We'll come back after the end of Lizardman turn 4.
So the Chameleon Skinks ran across the river. I was going to try to flank charge this Cold One, but he ended up killing all the Skinks by overrunning them. Ran into the boiling river. He passed that. And then over here, I kind of gave up on the building for now, and pretty much pointed everybody at the Hydra in hopes that maybe I'll be able to do something. Irresistible forced a spell after casting a couple little ones. I did 1 damage. 1 wound to the Hydra and 1 wound to the Shades, and am waiting for this next turn to see what happens.
Alright, so this was a quick turn. All we did was the Hydra went ahead and charged the Temple Guard unit and lost. We only lost because they managed to do the last 2 wounds that they needed and killed off the Hydra. He only managed to kill 1 Temple Guard before he went down. So, because he rolled some amazing saves. These guys had moved up, thinking that I could use the well to try to regen some of these dead spearmen, but I rolled a 1, and so they were vomiting ensued. Copious vomiting ensued. So that denied my magic phase completely, so no magic. But I did dispel his Flaming Sword of Ruin. These guys went ahead and shot at the Skink skirmishers, who broke and fled away. So we'll see if that last Chameleon Skink can rally. And my last Bloodshade went off to the side to try to get out of the charge arc and took a couple of pot shots at the lizards and didn't do anything. So now what we're looking at, and for his turn, he's probably going to turn around, and I moved forward 10 because I was feeling pretty ballsy because of because everyone was facing that way. Now I think that might have been a mistake.
So not much happened this turn. Over there, the Chameleon ended up running off the board. And here I just I cast a couple spells, cast a Fireball successfully, then I miscasted, but I was still able to do another spell. Ended up being dispelled anyway, and pretty much I'm just setting up to try to attack these spearmen and see how that goes.
So, so I got that Pit of Shades off, took down some of those guys, but the real big game changer was I did charge with the red spears. I also managed to get off the enfeebling foe, so I took their strength. I rolled a 6 to take down their strength D3, so they were strength 1. So I was able to take off about 4 or 5 wounds of his regular Saurus warriors, and he wasn't able to take off any with his strength 1. I also revealed my assassin, who killed a couple Saurus herself. And afterwards, we managed to beat them in combat. They broke. We ran them down and clipped the Saurus walk behind them. So now they're in combat with that Saurus over there. So this is the overview of what it's looking like at the end of Dark Elf turn 6, and we'll see what the Sauruses can do in return. Alright, so Dark Elf turn 6. My final turn, got some good stuff off. What I did was, I really didn't want to charge him, only because I was afraid of him getting 2 rounds of combat against any unit that would charge, my round and his round. So I was going to just wait to get charged and hope my guys would survive or be steadfast or something. But I decided not to go out the weak way. I went ahead and charged the red spears into his unit that was sitting right here. I left my mage over here because I wanted to make sure I got off some spells to try to help him out. Lower Shadows has some great hexes, great debuffs, and I managed to get off both Pit of Shades on his big Slan unit, and that was my real big plan, was to try to snipe off this Slan. I hit the Slan with the Pit of Shades, but he rolled a 1 and escaped the doom and darkness of being sucked down. That would have probably just sealed it for me. But even though that didn't happen, I did still neuter his Temple Guard unit because I knocked off a whole bunch more, like 6 more. All right, so the end of Lizard Man turn 6. I'm going to go ahead and close up for us. End of Lizard Man turn 6. All we really had, his General Battle Standard Bearer, Slan, turned around, left the unit, and sniped off the one last Bloodshade, which was huge. He threw a fireball at him and got something like 171 points for that squad that he was needing. With that, the only other things that happened, he chose not to charge the Temple Guard against the spear unit over there. These unit of spears that had charged the Saurus warriors, the spears lost the combat by about 4 wounds, but they had charged, they had ranks, so they were steadfast, and they held. So that's all that really happened there. I forgot to mention too, by the way, unless you're wondering why a couple of these lizards are back, I actually regrew them at the pond just to do, even though it wasn't really going to count for the rest of the game. Overall, we just added up all the victory points. This unit right here is worth something like 900 points with this Slan, which is unbelievable, and this one's worth about 300. So he's got about 1,200 victory points left. I think I had 1320 something left. So overall, it ends up being
1327.
1327
versus
so
1212.
Yeah, so within 100 points of each other for victory points. So overall, it's a draw. It was a good battle. It was a close run thing the entire time, and enjoyed it overall. I just swing it into the squad. All right, so we're gonna go for some final thoughts. Matt, what are your final thoughts for the game?
So Lizardmen, I'm still really new to this game, so lots of tactical errors. Due to randomness, my Slan, the little Death Star unit, was definitely on the wrong side of the board to be doing the damage that it needed to be doing. Shut up! Also, this terrain right here got in the way. I kind of pussyfooted around and wasn't as aggressive as I should have been. I need to make sure that I completely kill off the units when we're playing for victory points. Also, definitely should have flanked that Hydra. Would have made a big difference. But still liking the Lizardmen. I love their leadership tests. They're pretty much impossible to fail. my Slan had 3 miscasts and it was still alive at the end of the game. So I had some really good dice rolls and some good luck. But yep, that's it.
All right. So my final thoughts for the game. You know, overall, had some bad luck at the beginning of the game just with the deployment because of the whole meeting and engagement. So had some bad luck over there. Had my whole army not really where I wanted it to be. But I think that I probably didn't reorganize and reposition my things very well. The Cold One Knights were in the center all by themselves and just not getting what they needed to do. I tried to come over as fast as I could, but the Hydra ended up being completely segregated and unsupported, and he's a beast, but I don't want him getting flank charged and all that stuff, and luckily, yeah, Matt didn't decide to flank charge him. He probably would have killed him even sooner. Probably should have hid my Bloodshades. I kind of came out to try to get those last shots, and that would have been the points that I needed to win if he didn't shoot that. The other crazy thing, you know, I did get off that Pit of Shades. The fact that his Slan rolled a 1 for his initiative check. He needed, you know, a 1 or a 2 to pass. That was a huge chunk of points that would have eaten up if I had gotten that off. I think I should have cast that more often and as many times as I could have on that Slan and tried to pick him off the entire game. But instead I was just kind of getting minor guys. But overall, it was a great game. Thanks for watching.